This week on This Week in Blernsball.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match.
Go, 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 Joseph, you know what they say.
525,600 minutes.
How does a bastard, orphan, son of a whore and a Scotsman drop
Do you hear the people singing the songs of angry men? Welcome to This Week in Blernsball. We've had some tough times, but at least we won a Tony. You won a Tony. Just the words "nibbler on the roof" are, I'm out.
Yeah, that's terrific.
I am your co-host, Ben Bloom. With me, as always, is co-host, executive producer, and soon-to-be master, Jacob Morris.
Who day and night must... Wait, that's the wrong joke.
Master of the house, quick to catch your eye, never want to pass you by the passing.
Bye.
There we
go.
This is the problem when a baseball Futurama podcast turns into a musical theater podcast.
It works.
It does. My first experience in the theater was as chorus/flag waving guy in Les Mis.
Why is there an adult on the stage?
I've told you this story, haven't I?
You have told me this story. I think you've told this story on the podcast.
It's a good story. It's a good story. I stand by it.
For our listeners who watch on YouTube, is that a Hartford Whalers hat?
Yes, it is. Pucky the Whale, aka Fudgy the Whale, because we're all slaves to the Carvel Corporation.
Ha! That is awesome. And if you want more of this amazing visual content, watch us on YouTube. You can find us by searching This Week in Blernsball. So this week, there was some movement, maybe freeing up the free agent market, where there have been 3 signings of longer than a year this offseason.
We actually saw moves. We saw trades.
Big trades. The Mets aren't Metsing. I can't wait to see how the Mets this up.
I mean, the only way the Mets could Mets this up is if, like, when Francisco Lindor, who finally the move was made, if somehow like he trips over like a Mr. Met mascot head on his way to playing shortstop.
Yeah, I mean, they could Mets this up. He gets hurt. He hasn't signed an extension yet. He goes somewhere else. He's completely recovered. And, he goes to the Yankees. He's completely recovered, and he becomes MVP. That's classic Mets.
And Mrs. Met leaves Mr. Met for...
Mr. Redlegs.
Well, that's the thing. They're cousins, so I don't think that's allowed in New York. It might be allowed in Southern Ohio.
Who knows?
I was going to say she leaves him for the Monopoly Man, who is the Yankees mascot.
Yeah, well, the Monopoly Man is the Yankees mascot. We all knew that.
Rich Uncle Money Warbucks.
Yeah. Mr. Smart. I like the way Smart thinks. Smrub, yes. I like the way Smrub thinks.
I am Mr. Birds. I am here to pick up a package for Mr. Birds. All right, Mr. Birds, I'm just going to need your first name. I don't know.
And we're now into the part of the podcast where we talk about The Simpsons. No, but seriously, folks. The Mets are having the offseason every other team kind of wish their owner would have.
Because they actually did something and spent money.
Yeah, they did something and spent money, and they spent money on something really good. Francisco Lindor and Cookie Carrasco.
Yes. And Cookie Carrasco, great pitcher. Also, just like a crazy level of perseverance, coming back from cancer, still at an excellent level. And honestly, the Mets, they paid a reasonable price for them. Ahmed Rosario's good. Andres Jimenez is good. 2 prospects. Like,
neither of them are top 10 prospects from the Met system either.
Yeah, like that's a reasonable deal to make. Like, Cleveland is Cleveland. Like, they did this for one reason only, and if you can't see or hear because of the audio quality, I'm doing the
money thing,
the money fangers thing.
As Alba would say, money, 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 always funny. It's a rich man's world.
There was something in the air that night. The stars were bright. Carrasco.
It works.
It works. Holy shit. So, couple things. One, Steve Cohen isn't fucking around. Like,
no, he wants to win. He wants to win now, and he wants the Mets to be the big boys in New York. And damn it, there are 2 teams in New York. They should both be huge time spenders. They should both be masters of the league. They should both be duking it out for the World Series all the time. And Steve Cohen is willing to sink a ton of money into that. I mean, Steve Cohen is richer than the next 3 individual owners combined.
Really?
Yeah, he's loaded.
No wonder Damian Lewis played him on a TV show.
Yeah. I mean, he makes George Steinbrenner. Well, I mean, George Steinbrenner's dead now, but regular George Steinbrenner.
Like Larry David George Steinbrenner.
No, I even mean regular George Steinbrenner. He makes regular George Steinbrenner look like
Ted Rogers.
Well, no, Ted Rogers is loaded, and Rogers Corporation is still richer than Steve Cohen. He makes George Steinbrenner look like the woman from Major League.
Oh, loosely veiled criticism of Margie Schott.
Yeah. He makes Steinbrenner look like Margie Schott. He's loaded. He's worth something like $30 billion.
It's a shame, though, that he had to betray Claire Danes. I'm thinking of the wrong Damian Lewis show, aren't I?
You are.
Because, again, how
many amazing prestige dramas is Damian Lewis
on? He was on Band of Brothers.
Yep. And he was on Billions. And he's on Homeland.
He was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood playing Steve McQueen for like 3 minutes.
Yes, he was.
But those
he looks like Steve McQueen. He really looks a lot like Steve McQueen.
Yeah, which pretty much means that both of us are incredibly attracted to him.
Yeah.
I will leave the cat noises to you. But again, the Mets, for years, the Mets,
laughing stock.
Yeah,
Mets,
they were the New York Mets of baseball teams.
The 9 Mets are my favorite squadron.
The 9 Mets are my favorite squadron.
Which is why it was a great joke on The Simpsons, because the Mets always sucked.
Yes. Except for 2 years, 1969 and 1986.
85.
86.
86?
85 was the Battle of Missouri.
Yeah.
I'll be dead in the cold ground before I recognize Missouri.
Yeah.
So, once again, Cleveland is getting fleeced by a big market team. And the biggest thing
is that Cleveland had the pieces to be a dynasty. And because they're not spending, throwing it all away. 1
inning away from being a World Series champion.
Yeah.
They were playing the Cubs. The Cubs are cursed.
So is Cleveland.
Yeah, but again, Rajai Davis hits a home run.
You know how many home runs Rajai Davis has hit in his career? You know how many home runs Rajai Davis has hit in his career?
Didn't he hit 4 for the Blue Jays in one game?
Yeah, no. But he hit like 4 for the Blue Jays in total. He's hit like 10 home runs in his whole career.
And one of them was that one.
Yeah.
Again, Rajai Davis, big fan. If you come on the podcast, we will give you a gift basket.
Yes, we will. An actual gift basket. Not just a gift basket of stuff I found in my room.
It will be stuff that I found in his room.
Yes. Also, made one of the best catches I've ever seen.
Dude's a great ball player. But again, back to Cleveland. They could.
1 inning away. They were 1 inning away. And they were playing the Cubs. I mean, that was the battle of the cursed World Series. That was great. That's what everybody wanted to see in 2003. Red Sox Cubs.
Yeah.
And we came so close in 2003 too.
Bartman, Bleepin' Boone.
Yeah. Oh, so damn close.
So
But
damn.
so 2016 is the rerun of that, except we actually got the two cursed teams.
And amazingly, life on this planet got significantly worse after that World Series.
I maintain the Cubs breaking the curse was what opened the seventh seal.
Well, I mean, there were goats involved.
There were.
Like, yeah.
So I heard a great story about this. So Theo Epstein never really believed in the curse.
Good, because curses don't win you ball games.
Exactly. But the day after the Cubs had their parade, no, the day that the Cubs had their parade, all of the big execs and movers and shakers in the Cubs organization got together at the Billy Goat Tavern. Hold on, it gets better. And they had goat.
Wow.
That was yeah.
One of my prized possessions from my childhood was a Billy Goat Tavern t-shirt, just like John Belushi used to wear and just like Bill Murray used to wear.
Oh man, the Billy Goat Tavern is awesome. If you ever go to Chicago, you have to go there.
Have I told you my Billy Goat experience?
No.
So I'm there with my dad. We're under like the overpass.
Yeah, you're under the overpass.
Yeah. We walk in and it's exactly as
It
John
is
Belushi
exactly
said.
as it is. Like
Double the cheese, double the cheese, double the cheese. And my dad being, you know, like either he's in on the joke or he was just oblivious. He's like, can I just get a single cheeseburger? No, doubles are better. And I'm just like, okay, like don't get this guy riled up. Like, were you playing into that? He's like, what? No, I don't. I just want to sit. I was like, no, doubles are better.
Oh man,
and it was good. The
no Pepsi Coke.
Good. No fries, chips. Oh my god.
Oh man, I went there at like 11 o'clock at night.
Oh boy.
It was awesome.
Oh my god. Oh man, like places like that, like they can't exist anymore, or they can only exist in Chicago.
Yeah. Oh man, it's right underneath the Harry Carey statue too.
Of course it is.
Yeah. So you go down from underneath because it's on the lower level of Chicago. For those of you who haven't been to Chicago, Chicago's essentially a double stacked city. Sometime in like the 50s, 60s, they built an elevated expressway that went all around the city, and the city has now built on top of it.
So pretty much watch The Fugitive or Batman Begins, and you'll get it.
You'll get it because they were both filmed in Chicago. All of the Nolan Batman series was filmed in Chicago.
Well, except for the third one, which had Pittsburgh elements.
Yeah, bits of Pittsburgh. The most unbelievable thing about all the Batman movies is Hines Ward outran a collapsing football field.
No, I believe it. He was quite the athlete.
He was quite the athlete, but he was not a fast dude.
How do you know that his last name isn't Allen? That was the backdoor pilot into the Flash.
That just never happened. Anyway, Chicago, yeah. You go down from the upper deck into Billy Goat Tavern, but upstairs there's a Harry Carey statue on that level of the double part of the city. It's awesome.
That's the Chicago way.
You put one of yours in the hospital. You put one of theirs in the morgue.
I think that's just the Sean Connery way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Speaking of Chicago,
Yes.
The Chicago White Sox paid Liam Hendriks. Aussie, oi, oi, oi. And go get yourself paid Liam Hendriks. He went from being like a fringe reliever to arguably the best closer in the game right now over the course of the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. And again, I know why Oakland didn't give him a deal, but he was like stellar for the A's for like in the past couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I understand you could make your bullpen better, so make your bullpen better, but Chicago has an established closer.
Yeah. But again, maybe this is one of those TLR signings.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he thinks that, he's going to go back to the Sparky Anderson days where everyone's a firefighter.
Yeah, it could be that. But if you're paying a guy that much, I kind of want him to close. But that is me. As much as I like sabermetrics, being stuck in that old way. Lightsaber metrics.
I know. Like, that's what Blernsball should use.
Why didn't we call this podcast Lightsaber Metrics?
I think we wanted to go with the This Week in Blernsball joke, and we only just now thought of lightsaber metrics.
Yes.
Plus, neither of us are good at math.
Yes, that's true too. If this had been a more math-oriented podcast, lightsaber metrics. TM,
Okay.
TM, TM, TM. Nobody take that.
Infinity plus one.
Yeah. So, yeah, everybody kind of just being in there when they're useful. 4 years, $53 million, with the weirdest contract structure I've ever seen, where if the last year gets bought out, he still gets the same amount of money. So he gets $15 million if he plays the fourth year, or if he gets bought out, he still gets $15 million, but he gets it the Bobby Bonilla way.
Who would have thought that baseball executives are still using that goddamn terrible, but somehow brilliant, but terrible strategy?
Well, we'll just make more money in the future and then pay you the future money.
Yeah, because future money's a thing. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Again, it's crazy. Like, kids, if you're listening to this, go play baseball. They're just throwing money at people.
Yeah. Baseball or basketball. If you could be a really great player, basketball's where the money is. If you could be just average, baseball.
Yeah, and speaking from two average people, we're taking the baseball route.
Yeah. Man, I feel like I could have been a tweener in baseball if I'd really tried hard.
I could not.
Yeah. Probably not. But like I feel like I could have. I could have been the 24th guy on the bench
of a low-class A-ball league just like me.
Yeah. That's still playing professional baseball.
It is still professional baseball. Oh man. And again, the Mets trade and the Hendricks signing brings me to my big shit-eating grin question. So how about the Blue Jays?
They're gonna do something.
I'm not wearing my watch, but Freckles.
Well, remember they didn't sign Ryu until like the third week of January last year.
That's true.
There's been essentially no movement on the market this year. LeMahieu's still a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Springer's still a free agent. The Mets are out on Springer now.
Yeah, like again, they're good.
I mean, not to say they're good. If you can sign George Springer, you sign George Springer.
Yeah.
But I think that the Mets are more or less out on Springer. Sandy Alderson confirmed as much, which means the only serious suitor he has is the Jays.
Or the Red Sox, if what I'm hearing could come to pass, with Andrew Benintendi potentially on the move.
That's true. I mean, that changes the calculus on it. But right now, and it depends. Are the Jays willing to give him that fifth year? Are the Jays willing to go past $180 million? I think what the Jays want to do is get their arbitration guys out in line first. They're negotiating an extension with Teoscar Hernandez. They're hoping to eat up his arbitration years. I think once they get that settled, then we'll see movement from them. But like bringing back Taijuan Walker, that would be a good move. Solidify the rotation. Yeah.
That's an easy win for the Jays.
And it seems like he wants to be here.
Mm-hmm. Which is weird because, like, okay, it's not a normal thing to have for single country franchises.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, how many free agents do you really see wanting to come to Toronto where they don't get paid?
Yeah, and again, like, if you have a good accountant, you don't have to worry about Canadian taxes.
Well, you also have higher purchasing power in Canada. That's something I've never understood guys not getting. The Jays should really get on that. It's like, yeah, you're going to maybe pay a little bit more in taxes, but we're paying you in US dollars, but all your living expenses are Canadian dollars. You have 30% more money.
Yeah, it's like you're playing Monopoly and you're cheating at Monopoly, which is the only way to play Monopoly, which is why I play Scrabble.
I only play Monopoly with people I hate.
Your family?
It's a great way to lose friends.
It is, yeah.
But one more comment on Liam Hendriks. Liam Hendriks got DFA'd 4 times in his career. I mentioned this to you offline when we first broke the signing.
Mhm.
And now he's got the richest contract ever for a reliever. Like,
Wow.
that's a career.
That's kind of incredible. Like, good for him, honestly. Like, perseverance, man.
Yeah. Perseverance. He's getting it. He's
I will, yeah.
he's now intergenerationally wealthy.
Which again, I don't know the exchange rate in Australia, but they're pretty competitive with the Canadian dollar, but with the US dollar, like he could buy most of Western Australia.
I feel like he could buy most of Western Australia. I mean, it's mostly desert there.
Yeah, but again, it's a fun ass desert.
Yeah. Dingoes, kangaroos, deadly spiders.
Ooh, every type of deadly spider.
Oh, the deadly spiders.
The Jays did make one signing though. The Mark Churian candidate re-upped for 5 years.
I mean, he likes it in Toronto. He obviously feels the job's not done. He wants to see the stadium either renovated or rebuilt. He wants to see through the young guys.
But he didn't do the thing that we had, fanficked him to do, which was get Lindor.
But Lindor hasn't signed an extension with the Mets. Maybe he'll sign Lindor as a free agent.
The Mark Churian candidate lives.
The Mark Churian candidate lives.
Podcast episode title.
Yes, that is the podcast episode title.
Oh man, but yeah, things are starting to move, which brings us to something that happened last year.
It does bring us something that happened last year.
So on this day, January 13th, 20 year redacted.
You're redacted.
Rob Manfred released his findings and announced the Astros' punishment for trash can.
Wasn't this like our second episode?
Pretty much. So we've come full circle. And given the year we just had, it's like, fuck, do we really care about people stealing signals?
Okay, here's something funny. The Astros got punished. Their GM got suspended for a year. Their manager got suspended for a year and then fired. They had they finished below 500 and then made the playoffs and actually had a pretty decent run in the playoffs. Somehow they are the least dysfunctional team in Houston.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, my heart goes out to you. Both you and my buddy Mikey Mike from work are big, huge Houston, Texas fans.
Oh, yeah, that was a rough year. I mean, thankfully, my other team are the Bills. Bills Mafia.
Let's go, Buffalo.
Yeah.
Is this the John Belushi episode? Fuck, okay.
This is the John Belushi episode, apparently.
We're both wearing sweatshirts that say college.
Yeah.
Actually, yours does say university.
Mine does say university on it.
But mine doesn't. Mine has buttons, but...
Ooh, fancy.
I know, right?
Yeah, so...
And then
this is the John Belushi episode.
Yes, this is the John Belushi episode. Toga! The Rockets, game over, man. Like,
Harden wants out. Their guys are dropping like flies. I mean,
LeBron's hitting blindfolded threes against them because LeBron has discovered the fountain of youth.
Hey, I don't know what's going on with LeBron. He's been playing 18 years now, and and he's still this good.
I mean, like, I remember it was like it must have been 7 years ago now because time has lost all meaning. That it was reported that he spent $1 million a year on personal fitness.
Yeah,
I think they underestimated that. I think
well, when you make that kind of money, you can do that.
Well, that's the thing. You can, but how many people actually do that?
He wants to be the greatest of all time, and he's willing to spend whatever it takes.
Yeah, and again, he has done so much good with his income as well. The amount
that he spent on the I Promise school.
The amount he's done for voter registration, voter initiatives, other charities he's worked with, in Cleveland and Miami, across the U.S. Yeah. Again, So, and then just spending a fraction of his earnings on making sure that he's pretty much half Terminator, half Superman. Like,
Yeah, I mean, they call Kawhi the Terminator because he acts like the Terminator, but LeBron is built like the Terminator. LeBron
Terminator
is
2.
Terminator. No, Kawhi's Terminator too. LeBron's the Terminator. Like, LeBron is built like a free safety.
Oh, remember that old State Farm commercial where he says, "I'm taking my talents to the Cleveland Browns"?
Yeah.
That was
Cleveland Browns are winning
playoff games.
Yeah. We're truly in the upside down now.
This is weird, man. Like, and I guess hockey comes back tonight for the fuck of it. Why not?
Hockey does come back tonight. We're getting sports back, even though the NBA has gone full NFL and said, screw it. You get COVID, your problem.
Again, now is not the time to be playing sports. Things are bad. We're being told to stay at home, but except if you play hockey.
But, like, it's fun to watch while we're staying at home.
That is true, and I just want Pucky to wail. That's all I ever wanted.
Da, 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 da.
Say what you will about Brian Burke. The fact that he got rid of the brass bonanza may be the worst thing he's ever done.
Oh, and he's done some lousy things in hockey.
He's done some good things outside.
He's done some great things outside of hockey.
Of course, but again, leave Pucky alone.
Leave the brass bonanza alone. Okay, we're done.
Funny story about Brian Burke. Two of them, actually. One time I'm walking into work and he's walking behind me and I'm like, I'll just hold the door open. You know what he does? Because it's a double door. He holds the next one open for me. Like,
aww.
He's not Canadian and he understands Canadian door holding customs.
Well, he's a dual citizen, so he's an adopted Canadian.
Yeah. So that's part of the citizenship test, I have to imagine.
I would imagine, yes.
Yeah, and
I once talked soccer with him.
Yeah,
so
he's outside of hockey.
So his views on soccer were they're a bunch of wimps.
Okay. Again, he's a rugby guy.
Yeah, absolutely, he is. At a bar just before the Pride Parade, we were both marching with the Team Canada delegation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so
he is dual citizen.
Yeah. It was with You Can Play and Team Canada both marched together.
Of course.
And of course he works with you.
Amazing work he's done.
Amazing work he's done. The World Cup was on, and he was commenting about how a guy who had just gotten, shall we say, sacked.
You mean Hans Moleman Presents?
Yes, Hans Moleman Presents, except with a foot.
Yeah, again, you just get rid of like one part of that compound word, and you got it.
So
it's like, my groin.
My groin. It's like, oh, come on, this doubled over page. He's faking. It's like, Mr. Burke, I think he got kicked in the. And they show the replay. He's like, oh.
But yeah.
But like incredibly intelligent, incredibly well read. Just I don't agree with a lot of what he says about hockey. Like that the Montreal Canadiens are going to be good this year. They were bad last year.
Or that the Brass Bonanza shouldn't be played in stadia.
No, the Brass Bonanza is the greatest goal song of all time. And it should be played live by a brass band.
Yes. Yeah. When we're allowed to have people together.
Yes, exactly. No, they need to have that played like a college fight song.
Yes. But yeah, the world is still fucked up, which brings us back to the Houston Astros. I mean, are we still worked up about it? Like they were dickish about it when they were like being like, we're not going to apologize.
When they come to Toronto and we're allowed to be back in the stadium, yeah, I'm going to bring trash can lids and bang them together. Bang, 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 bang. And I assume they're not going to let me bring them into the stadium.
So that's why I have a workaround. I'm going to dress up as Oscar the Grouch.
That sounds good.
And instead of playing OK Blue Jays, we're going to sing Oh, I Love Trash.
Oh, I love trash.
All right, we got to stop before, children's television work sues us.
Yeah, children's television work is backed by HBO, which is backed by AT&T. But who knows if they'll actually do anything with their crappy network. Got you, John Oliver's corporate daddy.
It's a John Oliver joke. We're in Canada. We don't even have AT&T. Cool thing about AT&T, though, if you're ever in Nashville, the AT&T building looks like Batman's cowl.
Because they're actually Batman.
Yeah, Wayne Tech is secretly AT&T. Think about it.
Does that mean the CEO of AT&T is actually Bruce Wayne? Is actually Batman?
Isn't he?
Oh.
He could be a hologram created by Lucius Fox. Like
that makes sense. Yeah. Want to come for a ride in my Bruce mobile? I mean, regular mobile? I mean, car?
And we didn't need molded plastic. My suit, pure West.
Oh, Adam West, the best Batman.
And why doesn't Batman dance anymore? Remember the Batusi?
Oh, Adam West.
So good.
So good. Oh, so we skipped over this last week. Michael Keaton is going to be the main Batman in the DCEU.
I mean, holy shit, that is going to be awesome. Because Shelley Pfeiffer isn't far behind.
Damn straight. Does that mean... Oh God, I just thought of this. We're going to get a Tim Burton movie in the DCEU.
Oh, boy. As long as there's no Johnny Depp, we're good.
Yeah. We've had non-Johnny Depp Tim Burton movies, like Batman and Batman Returns.
Okay, so 2 of them. Oh, Frankenweenie.
All of his stop-motion animated. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, yeah, there was more.
Which was not directed by Tim Burton. It was just created by Tim Burton.
Oh, man. It's like how George Lucas didn't direct the original Star Wars movies.
Yes. But they aren't called George Lucas's Star Wars.
Again, Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
THX was literally, like, again, we're slipping down the nerd hole, but Michael Keaton as Batman interacting.
So allegedly the plan is he is going to be the Samuel L. Jackson's
Nick Fury
of the DCEU.
Which is Batman on Justice League Unlimited, pretty much.
Yeah, but so he's going to be old Bruce Wayne, and we're going to get Batman Beyond.
Terry, what are you doing?
How did you know the voices weren't real? Because they called me Bruce. And that's not what I call myself. What do you call yourself?
Oh, man. I want Kevin Conroy to be involved as like the supercomputer or something. Like
Kevin Conroy as Alfred.
He could do it. I mean, dude went to Juilliard with Christopher Reeve and Robin Williams. He's got the chops.
Yeah.
And some really awesome famous friends.
Yep. He could do it. And that'd be a nice nod to the animated series.
Yeah, and again...
And the only problem is that he's like the same age as Keaton.
But again, he's an actor.
Yes, and Keaton, we found out, comes down on the good side of 80s badasses respecting COVID rules and not being dickheads.
Yes.
Turns out Alan Rickman was right.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Potter. Whoever said we were terrorists. Again, that line in the movie, I'm like, whoa. Huh. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Just helping out. Stealing money, shooting dudes.
Yeah.
Not
Stealing money, shooting dudes, blowing stuff up. Terrorists have an ideology.
Perfectly legal in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it was Los Angeles in the 80s.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Mel Gibson was allowed to roam the streets freely back then.
Yep. Yeah, but Bruce Willis turns out as a colossal dickhead.
Demi Moore could have told you that like 20 years ago.
Yeah, but he was John McClane.
He was, but he was also, oh man. Maybe this is the M. Night Shyamalan plot twist. I see dickish people.
Reality as directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh boy. As long as it's not the Avatar version of Shyamalan.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Why did they make that?
Yeah, I mean, like some things can just stay cartoons. Did you ever get into Legend of Korra?
I did. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Oh,
Uh,
Babu.
oh, Babu.
Good
Yeah.
time.
Appa.
Yeah, Team Appa or Team Momo. Remember when they fought in Aang's Fever Dream?
I do. Team
That was
Appa.
amazing.
Team Appa all the way.
Oh, man. Momo's a crafty little rascal, though, and I love his dance music. It's pretty much safety dance, but with lemur noises.
Yeah. We could dance if we want to. We could leave your friends behind if your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance. That dance did not make you very safe.
No, there was a lot of movement there. Like someone could have gotten hurt real bad.
Great music video though.
Great. Why was it taking place in like medieval times, a Knight's Tale version of England?
Oh, because it did.
Also, who knew that Geoffrey Chaucer invented "We Will Rock You"?
Yeah.
That movie was so bad.
And David
so
Bowie's
good.
version of Golden Years.
Yeah. Again, that was just Heath Ledger being like, "Let's have some fun with this." Eh?
Yeah. Oh man, you know that movie was written entirely differently, and then they found it in the editing room, and they were like, "Let's fuck around."
It's like, you know how you do like the safety take where like you get to have fun with it?
Yeah.
That movie was all safety takes.
We Will Rock You. The entry to it was B-roll. It was entirely B-roll of them getting the crowd amped up.
Oh man, it's like using the warm-up comic instead of the talk show host.
Yeah.
Again, like National like Library of Congress that should go in. Like that worth historical.
And that was our Cage's Corner for this week. Plot twist.
Plot twist with your face.
Man, they should have made Face Off 2.
I mean, but whose face do they switch?
So it's two different characters.
Oh,
there's no Nick Cage and there's no John Travolta, but there's face-offs.
All right, who would you cast to switch faces with each other?
Oh, Michael Douglas, who was a producer on the first one.
Okay.
And Michael Keaton.
I thought we were gonna say, oh yeah, because they're both named Michael Douglas.
Then you only have to put one name on the marquee.
Michael Douglas. Oh man, I mean, I am going the complete other direction. I'm thinking you do a face swap of Jason Mantzoukas and Jason Sudeikis.
Didn't they do that movie?
Jace-Off?
Yeah, definitely a sequel. Definitely need to make a sequel.
Yeah, although, just Party Wolf. Woo!
The reason why it works so well is because it's not only an action movie, it's a psychological thriller as well.
Yeah. Also, Jason Sudeikis is just awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a random interlude away from baseball.
I think we're done with baseball for this week at least.
Yeah, until something else happens. Like there's still free agents out there, still trades to be made. We still don't have a schedule yet, which
no, we do.
We do?
We do.
We do?
We've had a schedule for a long time.
I'm pulling up my scheduler app.
We had a schedule in like July.
Remember July when that was a thing?
I do remember July. Yeah, because I have all of the Blue Jays promo nights.
No one's going to be allowed in the stadium.
I know, as if that's going to happen.
So they're probably just going to list like a bunch of great like giveaways, like authentic jersey night, like soil from the infield night, like authentic bat night.
July 9th, 2020, they announced the regular season schedule for 2021.
That's optimism. They didn't even have an actual season yet.
Yeah. Because the season's just done via a formula. They just plug the formula in. And the Jays just rolled forward all of their promotions. So the season opens on April 1st. Actually, it opens on March 30th. But the rest of the league starts on April 1st.
There is no March 30th.
and it runs through to the 3rd of October.
There's not going to be a 3rd of October.
I know, right? All-Star Weekend. Well, not All-Star Weekend, but the All-Star Game is the 13th of July at Truist Park.
Oh, Atlanta.
Yeah. Remember, LA is getting delayed by a year because Atlanta was already promised this one. And the All-Star break is the 12th to the 15th.
By that, you mean that's when the season's going to start?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, man.
That is the schedule that we have been shown.
For now.
Is only for now.
For now.
Is only for now. For now. I think this is the musical episode.
It really is. Like, we've gone from like every musical we could think of to John Belushi movies to.
So this is the John Belushi musical episode.
Yes.
And with
Smile Time Variety Hour.
The John Belushi Smile Time Variety Hour. There we go.
Yes.
That's today's episode title.
Pretty
and on that
good.
note, let's go to our Futurama episode of the week.
All right, you go first because
I think we picked the same one.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know me, which is like all 12 of you, I went back to school this week.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm back in college. I'm wearing my college shirt.
Hey, whoa.
So I picked the classic episode, Mars University.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah.
I did not pick that episode, so.
There we go. We didn't pick the same episode. Where Fry goes back to school on Mars to become a college dropout yet again, because his college dropout from the 20th century in the 31st century is the equivalent of a high school dropout.
Robot House!
Robot House! And his roommate is the hyper-intelligent monkey.
Gunter.
Gunter, yes.
Of course, the hat goes on the head.
And then it turns out when the hat is smashed and malfunctioning, he's only somewhat intelligent, so he gets an MBA.
No! Oh, man. And the winner is Robot House. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
Animal House. House.
Where
no one ever went to class.
Then we saw dinosaurs.
I know that's the Simpsons episode, but still.
Still, great movie. Inspired the Buffalo Bills. And again, was probably like one of the best, like, genre expanding movies of the 70s.
It was. Robot House.
Great pick on an episode. Oh, man. As for the episode I went with Overclockwise, one of several series finales for Futurama.
Yeah.
On this one, Hubert overclocks Bender and upgrades him so he becomes more advanced. But the ensuing court case from Mom bankrupts Planet Express. Fry and Leela, Leela leaves. Fry is sad, tries to figure out if they're going to end up together after all. Bender has become so powerful, he is beyond human concerns until Fry brings up Randy. Randy? What did I tell you about talking to Randy? Bender comes back, gets Hubert and Farnsworth clear to the charges through double jeopardy robot shenanigans. But he does print off Fry and Leela's future before the evil mom bots tear his brains apart. And then you get, I think one of the great Futurama scenes of Fry and Leela each reading their future. Leela looking at Fry, slapping him. Fry looking at Leela, slapping her. And then both of them having feelings. And yeah, they could have ended the series there.
They could have. They absolutely could have. There were every single time that they ended without being canceled, without notice, they had a good ending.
Yeah. And of course, Nibbler on the roof.
Oh, way above my head, I see the strangest sight.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, man.
Oh, Alfred Molina.
Again, Alfred Molina. I want him back in the Spider-Man movies.
I do too. We have to pause here for a sec.
Oh, for sure. And that involuntary time skip is brought to you by Glagnar's Human Rides. They're a bunch of crunchy humans.
All right. So I think this brings us to our classic games of the week.
Yes, it does. And I'm going random with mine.
Go for it.
I'm going with August 8th, 1976.
Okay. Explain further.
So, first game of a doubleheader between the AL West leading Kansas City Royals and the home team, your Chicago White Sox, or should I say Chicago White Shorts?
Shorts?
It is the debut of the Bill Veeck Bermuda shorts. Amazingly enough, Chicago wins that game 5-2, 5 stolen bases for the shorts wearing White Sox. And yeah, but here's the thing. In doing research for this game, I was looking back at pictures. They had like sliding guards in their high socks because remember, it was the 70s, so high socks were still a thing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't fully bare-legged.
It was
really
like soccer.
Pretty much, yeah. And seeing young Goose Gossage with an untucked shirt and shorts, aka Goose Gossage now, is hilarious.
Yeah, that's Goose Gossage for you. I am going untraditional with mine too.
Ooh.
So, October 19th, 1998. Or, if you prefer...
Rosh Hashanah?
No. I don't actually have the star date because a bunch of jerks never actually gave us one. The Star Trek Deep Space Nine baseball episode.
What?
There's an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine where they play a game of baseball in the holodeck.
Okay.
Against a team of Vulcans.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And the Deep Space and the Niners lose to the Vulcans. The Vulcans team, by the way, is called the Logicians. 10-1.
It's only logical to have a mercy rule.
No, they played all 9.
Way to kill the franchise, Bakula. What the? Is this a thing?
This is a thing. It's called Take Me Out to the Hollow Suite.
So that was just the whole episode, playing baseball against Vulcans.
Yes.
That is amazing.
I mean, they learn lessons and stuff, but yes.
Not so different after all.
I mean, it's Deep Space Nine, so it's Cisco, but yes.
We have learned that bunting is highly illogical. Why would you surrender one of your 27 allotted outs?
Yes, an actual episode. It's hilarious.
It is ethically wrong to steal a base. If one is given to you, you are permitted to take it. No, Spock, don't coach first. It's actually whom on first. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
that is ridiculous, and I'm gonna go look for that right now because
yeah,
it's amazing.
It's amazing. You can find it on Netflix if you're in Canada. I'm not sure who has all of the Star Trek if you aren't in Canada. It's season 7.
It Star Treks or Stars Trek for plural?
I'm not sure. It's season 7, episode 4.
Wow, Deep Space Nine went on for that long?
Deep Space Nine went on for like 10 seasons.
It's crazy because, like, in my head, I know the original series, 3 seasons, like,
and 6 movies.
2 good ones.
3. 2.5.
2.5. Again, like, nothing beats Wrath of Khan. Voyage Home is amazing because they just try and save the whales because that's a thing.
Search for Spock. Hey, Search for Spock had Christopher Lloyd as the bad guy.
Which, again, he was good at playing bad guys. Like, again, Roger Rabbit scarred me for life.
Yeah.
God!
Now, what the problem was is Search for Spock had no emotional stakes because we all knew Spock was coming back to life if you watched TNG. Because Spock showed up in TNG.
Oh, yeah.
In the far future.
In the world of tomorrow.
Stop stealing my line.
Never. Oh, man. All right, so now I have my plans for this afternoon. Go watch a bunch of Star Trek.
Yeah. Star Trek. Star Trek baseball.
Oh, my God. It's like that episode was written for us.
It was written for us.
Oh, my God.
It's about moral victories. And on-field losses.
Yes. Just like the 9 Mets.
Ah, yes. The 9 Mets.
And full circle, that brings us to the end of this week's episode.
Yes. So, remember, you could follow us on all kinds of social media. We're at TWI Blernsball on Twitter and Instagram. We're This Week in Blernsball on Facebook and YouTube. You can also follow Ben and I personally. I'm at JMS Morris, and Ben is at Benjamin K. Bloom. That works on both Twitter and Instagram. Although I don't post much on Instagram, and neither does Ben. We're more active on Twitter, and we're fun on Twitter. Except for when I'm posting about, uprisings in the United States that are, kind of dangerous to democracy. But let's not talk about that.
And my learnings on vaccines and why everything that we should be doing is what the government isn't doing. So, yeah.
Yeah, but we also post baseball memes.
Yeah, and Zoidberg gifs.
Yeah. And Nick Cage gifs.
Lots of Nick Cage gifs.
If you'd rather have some fun following us on social media, you could follow our mascot, Ampersand the Puppy. He's Ampersand the Puppy on Instagram, and he just posts cute puppy pictures and videos.
Because
he's more popular than either of us.
Put together.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, he is dog. Dog do things.
Dog do things. Doggo do things.
And stuff. Let's not forget stuff.
Let's not forget stuff. We're available on pretty much every major podcasting platform: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all of the fun ones. If you like us, give us a good rating and a good review. This helps other people find the podcast, and it also makes us feel good inside.
Whatever's left of our insides.
Yes, whatever is left of our insides after the space worm ate them.
Didn't they go through the ear?
Yes, they burrow through the ear and they eat the intestines.
I thought they just eat the brain.
No, they eat the all.
Damn it, Walter Koenig, you fooled me for this time.
He was from, Illinois.
Yeah. I was going to say a line from Archer, but I ended up fact-checking it, and it isn't true, so I'm not going to say it.
Can you say nuclear vessels? No.
Well, she.
Great episode. I think that was the first Futurama episode of the week we had.
I think it was, because it's fitting.
Yes. All right, and that brings us to the end of another week of This Week in Blernsball. Everybody stay safe out there. And for all of us here at This Week in Blernsball, I'm Jacob Morris.
I'm Ben Bloom. Thank you so much for joining us.
Farewell from the world of tomorrow. Coming up next week on This Week in Blernsball.
Spider-Man. Oh, fuck, my shoulder.
My neck. Oh, God. We should not have done Spider-Man the musical. Oh, God. Damn you, Bob.